it's great to be off the road. It's been a long 2 weeks for coaches being on the road recruiting, trying to prepare for a bowl game, talking to your guys on your team, and obviously recruiting. And then you come home off the road on a Friday and you're right into recruiting weekend. So I think all the coaches are refreshed just to be here and be present with our guys, which we've had 2 Saturday practices prior to this, after being on the road, but had a really good day today. And happy with where we are. Really UCLA #1 today, even though we had some parts of it the last 2 Saturdays. So questions?
Pat, obviously you released a statement a couple hours ago on social media, but what does it say about your program to have this many guys considered for the NFL and being able to opt out for a bowl game and prepare for the next level?
Yeah, I mean, we had 2 a year ago. It's a great thing. I mean, those guys all, we wish those guys luck. They all have decisions to make. It tells you, they've gotten good reviews from their agents that they either signed with or will sign here the next couple of days. They're going to have an opportunity at the next level. I mean, they want to set up and get ready for that pro day, for that combine, Senior Bowl, whatever it may be, that they've been invited to, and it's a good thing. We wish all those guys luck. We obviously wish they were playing, but that's their decision, and all I can do and all our staff can do is educate them on, hey, what we think, and they've got to make a decision what's best for them.
Yeah, they've been holding the NFL draft since 1933 and have held bowl games about the same amount of time. Why all of a sudden are there opt-outs now?
That's a great question. Why is there this thing called a transfer portal? Okay, it's all the same questions. I think it's the age we're living in. 15 years ago, 10 years ago, guys would have given their left leg to go play in a bowl game. I don't think it's the case anymore. It's sad because I think the bowl games are so much fun. It's a reward for a great season. We're looking forward to going down to the Sun Bowl. It's a great bowl. We're excited. I'm excited. Our families are excited, and but it's kind of the world we're living in. Why, there's a lot of things we could say, like, why do they do this? Why do we do this? Why is the world like it is today? And I can't really answer that. Kids nowadays, they want to move on and go to the next thing. I mean, and it's a great thing. I want everybody to go. I mean, everybody wants to go to the NFL, okay? Except me. I don't want to go to the NFL, Jerry. But everybody wants to go to the NFL. That's a lifelong dream of theirs, is to go do that. And sometimes some guys want to jump and do it too early. They just get all excited. I want to go train. I want to get to the next step, and it's okay. This team right here, the guys who are in this indoor today are worried about finishing the season the right way and try to go 5-0 in November and December.
There were a handful of guys who maybe were facing decisions. Jared, Haba, Kalijah didn't announce anything today.
Yep.
Are you?
Yep.
I mean, do you read into that they're coming back?
I have all the answers, but I can't tell you. That's not my decision to make. That's their decision when they want, timing-wise. So I can't tell you, Chris. Okay, we got more surprises for you. Okay.
How do you view it from a coaching standpoint? Is this an opportunity to look at a guy for next year, or do you reward a senior that's maybe been waiting and this is his chance?
It's a little bit of both, Jeff. I mean, it's a little bit of both. The number one thing we're gonna do is try to win a football game. So it's not about 2023. Again, that was our focus today, was just finishing, and we're gonna finish the season, and we're gonna do whatever we can do to win the football game. At some positions, it means some young guys that haven't had a lot of reps get a chance. And there's some interesting talk out on the field last Saturday with one group that broke down that I won't share with you. But it was like, okay, I like that. I mean, it was just kind of like, hey, it's time for the new group to get going. And so I'm looking forward to it. And you see some of these young guys are going to have opportunities. It is kind of pushing towards the next game. But, it depends on the position, depends on the depth there. And again, it all depends on, we're going to do the best thing we can do to win a football game. Period.
Who's your starting quarterback?
I don't know, Jared. We're going to find out.
Is it? I mean,
it's a battle right now.
Between Nate
and Nick Patty, no question about it. And I would say, based on today's practice, again, we'll do a daily. But for today, Nick Patty was on fire today. So for today, it's Nick Patty. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Pat, since the last time we spoke with you, obviously your starting quarterback this season entered the transfer portal. Just wondering if you have any comments on how that all went down and what the decision was with him.
I'm not going to comment individually about anybody. There's all, the only people who really know are the guys who are sitting in that office up there, and those are personal conversations that we've had with guys, and I'm to me, it's about the team. It's about those guys and what's best for them, and they have decisions just like guys are going to enter the draft and maybe not play in a bowl game. Everybody's got decisions to make, around the world and obviously in the football world, and I respect everybody's decisions, and again, there was obviously conversation back and forth with anybody that's in that position, and we wish every one of those guys luck.
Pat, at the same time,
And Keaton, I love Keaton. He's a great kid.
Right, but to Keaton specifically, you had been very kind of like supportive of him. Like every time we asked you about him, it was like, "This is my guy. I'm sticking with him. I like him." Does that make it more, difficult when you lose a guy like that you've been so?
It's life, and I'm going to support all our guys. Okay, I'm going to support all of them. I'm going to be positive, and like I just almost at the end there, followed up to your question is I love Keaton. Keaton's a great kid and did a nice job for us. Helped us win 8 football games. So, and I believe at that point he was the best quarterback to lead our 2022 season, and we'll leave it at that.
Did
a nice job.
Were you looking for an upgraded quarterback for 23?
I'm looking for upgrades at every position. Okay, I'm looking to upgrade at punter, at right tackle, at left tackle, at tailback. I mean, we're looking up. That's what we do. That's why we go on the road and recruit. And you're looking for constant upgrades at every position. So not necessarily at the quarterback position, but every position we want to get better. And there's going to be a battle every. Again, can't talk really recruiting, but there's going to be a battle, a competition at every position when we get to spring ball. Period. That's why we coach. It was, that's kind of what it is. Unless you got Kenny Pickett sitting in that room, or Hobba Baldonado at right end, he's probably going to be the starting right end. So.
Is Brandon George going to play all game?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I can give you that scoop. That's not an injury. Brandon's good. He could have played could have played against Miami, but Brandon played 3 games, and the 4th game will be this bowl game. So we've kind of saved for him. He's feeling great, and we're excited to have Brandon George back for sure. He's a guy, we've been kind of waiting. He came back too early, got rolled up on. He could have been ready 6 weeks ago. We had him ready to go, and then all of a sudden, someone fell on him. So, but he's back healthy, and we're fired up to have him back.
Pat, what do you like about Nick's makeup? Because he's been through, it's been an adventure for him in his time here, and I think he thought coming off last year, hey, I might have a chance to be in the mix, and he was. He didn't get the shot. He gets hurt against Tennessee, and he sort of hung around in there. I mean, it's a special kind of guy to kind of handle that.
It does.
Evolving role that he's had.
Nick is a tough guy. He's a competitor. The team loves Nick. The heater's on, and gotta have focus here. But Nick's a competitor, and I can't wait to see what he's got, and I hope he has every day that he had today in practice. The next 2 weeks that we get an opportunity to go practice.
You're going to need young defensive ends, obviously, to step up next season, but you're going to see some of them in El Paso. I mean, who are you excited to see out of that younger group?
I guess you saw a little glimpse because Hobba's been banged up. We're still evaluating him, and so I mean, Deion Hayes was out there in the Miami game, and we saw what he can do, and he's still right here. We still can get him a lot better. He's going to be special. But when you look at the other guys, I mean, Bam's played, Chris Maloney's played, but some of the young guys, Jimmy Scott has done a great job on our scout team, as well as Sammy O, and those are guys that are probably going to miss somebody without having a depth chart in front of me. There's probably one more in there I'm missing. But those are just some of the young guys that we're going to have an opportunity. Nakai Johnson, how could I forget him? He's at the top there. So, they're all going to have opportunities. We're going to find out. It's a springboard into 23, especially at that defensive end spot.
Now, do you view this bowl game as a chance to maybe showcase the depth that you guys have built, because you're not going to have some of the guys that got you to success you've had the last couple of years?
Yeah, and I would use the showcase afterwards. I wouldn't say it's a showcase to go into it. We're going to find out what it is. So it's a showcase or a no case. I don't know which one it's going to be, but it's an opportunity for those guys to step up. It's the next man up, whether it's an injury or someone moving on to the National Football League. It's an opportunity.
Does that make it difficult? I mean, some people might not have watched you guys that much this season, and they're going to settle in on the 30th and watch you guys, and it's not going to be maybe the Pitt that we saw in November. Does that make it difficult as a coach?
It makes it difficult, but that's the world we're living in, and I'm sure there's a few teams across the country that are the same way. It's a great opportunity for our kids to go do what they need to do at the next level, and that's the way it is. I mean, bowl games are not really the whole 22 season. I mean, last year our 2 best players didn't play in the Peach Bowl. If they do, we win that game. Unfortunately, it goes down as my record, and I don't care. It doesn't. I'm not worried about records. I'm worried about winning football games, and that's all we can do. I mean, we almost won it a year ago with a 3rd-string quarterback, and it doesn't matter who steps up there. We expect to go down there and compete.
You talking about Eric Allen's availability for the bowl game?
What do you want me to talk about?
Is he going to play?
EJ, is he going to play? At this point right now, yes, he is.
Okay.
So.
Coach, there's been an influx of homegrown talent to the system via the transfer portal, and I know you've not really cared for the transfer portal in the last couple of years, but how can you use that to your advantage?
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't talk recruiting. I can't talk about any of those guys. I don't know. I wish I could give you a better answer.
But Wednesday, you should show up.
Wednesday, I can give you all the answers you want. Today, I don't want to get in trouble. Someone got in trouble in the middle of the season. I don't know who it was. Got in trouble. Like, you can't get me.
Well, are you happy, though, that a guy like Phil Dracovic could be available?
Who?
You're right. Never mind.
Who? I don't even know that name.
Will your transfer guys sign?
He's a young guy.
Not just high school seniors, but will transfer sign on Wednesday too?
We will have everybody that's in our class sign on the 21st, correct?
Anything else?
Come on, it's been like a couple weeks, guys. You got some more.
Yeah, but you're not going to answer it. So like,
I will answer what I can. What do you mean? I've answered every question.
Man's law abiding.
Well, tell me what you want. I can't answer it.
How are your young guys?
There we go, Jerry. I know it's got one.
How are your young guys taking the opportunity here to really step up and show what they got?
They're fired up. Okay, let me just tell you, they're fired up. Everybody's looking for that opportunity. When you look at last year, when all our linemen said they were coming back, there was a lot of sad faces. Okay, this year there's a lot of happy faces. At that position. So there's some guys that are excited that they're going to get to go out and go play, and it's a springboard, like I said, to the next season. So it's a great opportunity, and as coaches, that's what we look forward to. And then we're going to be able to find out their strengths and weaknesses. They'll see it, and we'll be able to use that as we go into the offseason.
On the other end of that, do you get the sense that the veteran guys who haven't opted out, do you get the sense that they're really excited to finish strong with one more game here in a Pitt uniform?
No doubt about it. If they don't, they need to opt out too. But no, there's a lot of excitement out here, and I will say, talking about opt-outs and all that stuff, for me, it's sad. Okay, and for me, it's sad because you have senior day, and I've said this to the kids, like, it's something you don't know what's going to happen. Senior day, you're like, okay, it's the last home game. Okay, the last game of the season, you go, okay, it's the last game of the season, but we got one more. And then I don't want to say you get blindsided or you get like surprised, I guess, like, really? And it's like you didn't get that last chance to give them a hug in the locker room after the game. That's what hurts me. It's like you wanted to go out one more time. I wish I would have known before the Miami game. That's what you wish. But that's the way, And again, maybe they knew, but I didn't know. And you just like to go out the right way. So that's my regret, is I didn't get a chance to have that last game feeling with those guys.
You mentioned the offensive line. I mean, what have you heard from? I mean, Zubovic and Cradle could come back for an extra year. What have those guys told you?
You know what? Again, I'm going to leave those personal conversations for them, and maybe EJ can get those guys to come out and make an announcement one way or another. I don't want to take their thunder. I think that those guys get to make that decision. It's a great question, Chris. I wish I could tell you, and I can tell you because I do know, but I don't want to say that for them. Okay? So I would imagine maybe tomorrow, maybe we'll talk to some of these guys you have questions about. Maybe we can get them in here tomorrow if they're ready to make that decision, or if they're not ready to make that decision, then I got a 99.9% idea, but things can change, right? I mean, things change daily. Guys have till the 18th of January to declare for the NFL. They know that, I know that, and so I mean, anything can change. I mean, you can feel one way today, and kids could change their mind tomorrow. So I think it's best for those guys to tell you personally and not let me do that, because that's not my job.
Good. Coach, thank you for your time.